Hello everyone, welcome to this tutorial. This is Deepak Bari and today's topic is to creating a basic configuration in Cisco router. Now let's open the Cisco Packet Tracer software and we need the two routers for connecting them. Now just simply take two routers. I am using the 2811 series. And then after we need to connect this router by using a cable, and we will use this serial cable here. And if you are noticing here, the two types of serial cables are available. First one is the serial DC and the second one is the serial DTE. And we will use the serial DC in our scenario. So just select the serial DC. Then after we will connect this router with this router by using this cable. But before using this serial cable, we need to implement an interface. We will use here the WIC1T, and before that we need to power off this router and just drag and drop this interface. Then turn on this here switch, and in the second router also just power off this router switch, and then just drag and drop this WIC1T. Now power on this router. Now select this serial DC cable and select this serial 0/0/0, and in this router also. After making the connection between these two routers, you have noticed about the port label of serial DC, which comes with the port number, slot number, etc. and it comes with the clock symbol, as you can see at the top of this cable. So this means this router will be the DC and this router will be the DTE. So the concept of the DCE and DTE is very simple. Simply a DCE stands for the data communication equipment and the DTE stands for the data termination equipment. In this scenario, the router 1 is the DTE, that is the data termination equipment. As usual, the routers are the DTE and the communication devices which is connected with the router. So generally, if you are noticing the router which has the clock symbol, so we need to provide a clock rate within our router configuration in this serial cable. So if you want to see this serial label or the port label of this serial cable here, so you just need to just go to the open the options menu and just go to the preferences and make sure you have checked this checkbox. They always show port labels in logical workspace. If you uncheck this, so you can see the effect. So just check this checkbox and simply close from here. Now just open this router 0 and this is the CLI tab where we will configure our router. So just give the no, and this is the user exit mode. We need to go at the user exit mode to the privilege exit mode. If you are confusing about the CLI modes of the router, I've already made a video about this on the CLI modes of the routers and switches, so you can go through about that video. Now just go to the global configuration mode and select this serial cable by using this interface command, interface serial 0/0/0, and you need to give an IP address in order to communicate these routers. So we are going to using this IP address 10.0.0.1 and the subnet mask is /30. This serial value is 30. And then after we need to enable this serial cable port by using this command, the no shutdown. It disabled by default, so we need to give this command for enabling this port. Just hit down the no shutdown command, and then after we need to give a clock rate. So just after the clock rate, just give the question mark and you will see the all of the clock rates are available for this device, so you can give any one of them. I'm using the 72000 and just quit from here also. Now save your configuration file into the NVRAM. And now we need to configure within this router. Just go to the CLI tab and say here no, same configuration right here, enable configuration terminal, and after that select the interface that is the serial 0x0x0, and then give the IP address here also 10.0.0.2, and this CIDR value should be the /30, that means at the end of 252 in the subnet mask. The reason behind for giving the subnet mask is to getting only the two IP addresses, the usable IP addresses between the two routers, that is the 10.0.0.1 and the 10.0.0.2. If you are giving the 10.0.0.3 or 10.0.0.4 and so on, and with this subnet mask, so it won't work, because in this subnet mask the only two hosts, the two usable IP addresses are allowed here. We will cover it more in depth in the later videos, but for now just remember it. We are using for two hosts only. The subnet mask is 255.255.255.252. Now just hit down the enter command. So there is no changes in our port states, so just go again on the interface serial 0x0x0 by selecting this command serial 0/0/0 and simply give this command the no shutdown. Now if you notice about the state of our port of the serial, it turns on from the disabled state to the enable. Now exit from here also, and now we can ping to our adjacent devices by using the IP address. Now the success rate is 100%, and if we ping from here also, the result should be same. Okay. A router can break a broadcast domain, and it is usually used to connect two different LANs or the two different IP addresses within our network scenario and so on. So we are not going to the too details and in depth about the router right now. We will cover it in the later videos, but for the basic purposes we are just using this router cabling and etc., and we will connect all the devices, whatever this, basically the routers and the switches and the end devices like PCs, laptops, servers. So now just for select the PC, select the switch icon from here, and we are using the 2960 T series switch. Just drag and drop from there, and this is the 2950 T series switch. From router to switch we are using the copper straight through cable for connection. So just use the simple fast Ethernet 0/0 in the router interface, and in the other hand you are using the fast Ethernet 0/1 for the switch, and this here also. So we have made a connection between the router and the switches, but the port it is disabled in their state. The fast Ethernet, as you can see, it's going the red button because it's already disabled in the router. So we need to configure within the router again. For enabling this port, just go to the global configuration mode, and for now we need to select the fast Ethernet instead of the CL port, and now we need to select the fast Ethernet interface instead of the serial interface. So for now we are using the fast Ethernet 0/1 and simply give no shutdown for enabling this port. And if we would like to assign, but this is not enabled for right now because this is the fast Ethernet 0/0, so just exit from here and select the interface fast Ethernet 0/0 and give this simply no shutdown command from here. Now the red light is turned within the green light, and we need to assign an IP address. Let's say we are using the 192.168.10.1 and the default subnet mask of the class C we will use here, and simply just exit from here also, and use this command copy running config to startup config. And in this router we will do a same configuration for this interface. Because the interface is already in the disabled state, we need to use some of the commands for enabling this interface. So just go to the configuration mode or the global configuration mode, and now we are selecting the interface first Ethernet 0/0 and just simply say the no shutdown for enabling the port and give the IP address as required. In this case I am going to using this 20.1 and just exit from here also, and save your configuration file. Okay, now just exit from the CLI tab by closing this dialog. Now we need to connect some of the PCs in this scenario. So this is the icon of the PC and this is the icon of the laptop. So just select a PC from here, hold down the control key for the multiple selection. So this is our simple scenario, and we will make a cable connection with these switches and between the PCs. Just select the first Ethernet 0/2 and here this 0/3 and in this case the 0/4. So Cisco Packet Tracer comes with some of the awesome tools for the beginners of the network engineers or the associate levels of the network administrators. So this is called the Note, and this is very useful if you are making a big network or a simple, and by using these nodes you can simplify your network by labeling. For say we are using the 10.0.0.1/30 for this network, and again we are using the node 10.0.0.2/30 for this interface. So this interface goes to the 10.0.0.1 IP address and this for 10.0.0.2. Now press the N key again, and here this PC will get the 10.0.0. 192.168.10.2/24, and this will get the 10.3, and this default subnet mask is /24, that is the class C subnet mask. And this PC will get the 10.4. /24 refers to the default subnet mask of the class C IP address, and for this PC it will get the 20.2 because their network is the 20.2 and the default subnet mask is /24, that means class C IP address default subnet mask. And because we have changed the subnet mask here, the CIDR value here, so this is called the discontiguous network, and the router interfaces which already get the default subnet mask of the class C IP address and the CIDR value is 24, so that means it is a contiguous network. So this is the 10.1. so this network is called the contiguous network, and this network, the connection between the two routers, is called the discontiguous network. And in this case this router gets the 192.168.20.1/24, so this network is also a contiguous network because it follows their CIDR value of the default subnet mask of that default class C IP addresses along with the default nodes and the default network, etc. Now we need to assign all the IP addresses in the end devices. For making and assigning an IP address within the end devices, we need to go within the desktop, and after that just give the IP addresses here 192.168.10.2 here and the default subnet mask of class C IP address. But note, whenever we are using the router in our scenario, we need to give a default gateway in order to communicate to others network devices. So we need to give this IP address of the router interface which is connected the fast Ethernet port and which we have assigned within the router configuration, that is the 192.168.10.1. so this would be the default gateway for all the devices within this network. Now just close this device, go to the another desktop and go to the IP configuration, and for here we are using the 10.3 and the default gateway is 10.1. Here the same process also, the 10.4, the IP address only should be changed, all the things remains as it as default. Now come to the second point of the second network. Just go to the IP configuration, and this time we are going to using the 20.2 instead of 10 network because this network is different than that network, and we are using the 20.1 default gateway because the interface of the fast Ethernet which is connected with the switch and the router is 20.1, so that's why we are using the 20.1. Close this device here, and from this device we can ping from to each other. So just go to the device and their command prompt and type the same ping command, and along with the ping command give an IP address where you want to ping. So I'm using our own network. So 10.4, let's say the 10.4 we need to ping, and we are getting the reply from the 10.2. But if you would like to ping to the 20.2, so let's say what should be the result. So we are getting a unexpected results from the ping, that is the reply from 10.1 destination host unreachable. If you notice about this IP address, so this IP address is for the default gateway. So this kind of errors, it tells us that within our router configuration there is no protocol is configured within our router. So that's why the packet is not forwarding outside on the router. So we need to configure a routing protocol within this router in order to making a connection between these switches and these routers and these devices. Otherwise they can't connect, because the two connection and the two network is connected through only the serial cable. So that's why we need to configure a routing protocol or a static routing in order to making stabilizing a connection between these devices. So let's make a basic connection between them. I'm using the RIP version 2 for this demonstration purposes. Router RIP, I'm using the router RIP version 2 with the no auto summary feature because we have implemented the discontiguous network in our scenario. So that's why we are using the no auto summary and the router RIP version 2. Because RIP version 1 is supported only the contiguous network, and the RIP version 2 is supported for both the contiguous network as well as the discontiguous network also. So right now we are not going to the details in the RIP version 2 for right now. There's a lot of things about the RIP version 2 and RIP version 1. We will cover it on the later videos, but for now, for the demonstration purposes, we are using the RIP version 2. So just say and give the network of this router, that is the 10.0, and we need to use this command, the network, and after that 10.0.0.0 network for the serial cables, and just simply exit from here also and make changes by using this configuration. It is important to saving your files within the NVRAM, so you can't lose your configuration file while power shut down or anything else happens within the router. Here also we need to configure the RIP version 2. Auto summary and the network addresses which goes to 20.0 as well as the 10.0 also. Excuse me. That's it. Now exit from here also, and now copy the running configuration file to the startup config file. Now try to ping to the adjacent PC. Just go to the command prompt and try to ping to the 20.2. Now if you notice about the ping result, so it gets the reply from the 20.2 with the bytes of 32 and the time within is 2 milliseconds and the total time to live is 126. So successfully we have made a connection between this network. Now just close this PC. So far in this scenario we have made a connection between the routers and switches, and we have made a connection between the PCs and the switch. So this is all about the network connection between the routers and switches and PCs, and this is how it works and what are the things needed in order to communicate the devices. Now we need to set a basic security within our router. So just go to the router CLI tab and go to the global configuration mode in order to making a basic configuration, and the basic configuration of the security, you can say basic security configuration of the router. So basically we need to provide a password for this router so we can prevent this router for unauthorized access. To do so we need to give some of the commands, so just follow some of the commands. Give this command for enable password. So this password commands only used whenever anybody wants access to the user exec mode from the privilege exec mode. Okay, so we are just going to giving this password is the password @123. So this is the password which we are using and which we will use for authentication purposes for accessing the privilege exec mode. Give this enter key. Now exit from here and make some changes by using the copy running config. Remember, whenever you are making changes within your router or the switch, you need to give this command at the end for saving your configuration file. This is important for, otherwise you will lose your configuration after power fluctuation, etc. Now for the second router we will do the same thing. Configure terminal, enable password. You could choose any one of the password here. I am using for just for the demonstration purposes. Now hit down the enter key, then copy running config, startup config. Now just go to the router, and if we exit from here and if we would like to access the user exec mode, so it asks the password. So if we give the wrong password, so we can't access the user exec mode to the user privilege mode. We can't access the user privilege mode here. So again try to give a real password, that is the correct password. That was the password @123. Now I have successfully accessed the privilege exec mode from our router. Now let's check to the second router. First we need to exit from here. Now try to give the enable key or the enable command for accessing the privilege exec mode. So it same asks the password. So give the password here. Now I can access after giving the password. Now close from here. So guys, in this scenario we have learned some of the basic things regarding about the router as well as some of the switches and the PCs and devices and how a basic network is working with the help of using these devices, and how the IP protocol or the static routing or anything else which is going to configure within this router, and which we have already configured the RIPv2 within this router. It's working, and we have applied some of the password for security purposes for our routers, so no one can unauthorized access to the router. So guys, this is all about the basic things about the routers. I hope guys you have enjoyed this tutorial. So if you have any kind of questions or still have any kind of doubts, so you can write down below the comment box. Thanks for watching this video guys, and guys, see you on the next video.